Let's talk about the 7 best ways to learn copywriting as a beginner looking to get started with freelance copywriting. So this is all from my experience, what I have done, and hopefully it can help you too. And if you want more tips on getting started with your freelance copywriting business, make sure you join my copy club in the link in the description. So let's just jump into the first one, which is watching YouTube videos like this one. So there is literally almost infinite videos on YouTube that you could watch about learning to become a copywriter. The problem is it's almost like drinking from a fire hose because there's so much information. So you can learn to become a really good copywriter by just watching YouTube videos and just consuming content and learning the basic fundamentals of what copywriting is and how that applies to persuasion and selling. Once you've got the basics down, then you are ready to go out and find clients. The second point, or the second best way to learn copywriting, and these are in no particular order by anyway, podcasts. So it's always good, I think, where people get together, like interview style podcasts, or even just one person talking about their experience in learning about copywriting. You can definitely absorb a lot of knowledge from people who are further ahead from you. And if podcasting is your, a way that you find nice to consume content, then by all means go ahead and search copywriting podcasts on Spotify, even on YouTube as well, and start consuming away. Some of the best podcasts I've listened to on copywriting as such are not actually specific copywriting podcasts. It's more bigger picture podcasts about marketing and business, and you actually learn a lot about sales, persuasion, communication, human psychology through those types of podcasts, rather than just a specific podcast on how to write a subject line for an email or how to write a sales letter or something like that. So I like to look a little bit broader, a little bit bigger, opens my mind up for bigger ideas, and also helps me become a better writer in the process. So let's move on to books now. Books have been a massive thing that have helped me with copywriting, especially when I was getting started. So I'm just going to give you a couple of recommendations. First book is Cashvertising. Now, Cashvertising is a fairly old book, but the principles are timeless, like a lot of these books are. In fact, all of them are timeless principles. Cashvertising is very much about direct marketing, call to action stuff. So basically getting someone to read something, take an action, read something, take an action. Whereas nowadays, I feel there are 2 different ways of persuasion and communication, especially when you're building a personal brand online, which is more about creating content, building a relationship with someone, not always asking for the hard sell or asking a customer to directly do something, rather than just building a connection, building a valuable relationship with someone. So Cashvertising is the first book that will give you an overarching understanding of copywriting and how it applies in the modern world. Ogilvy on advertising as well. Ogilvy on advertising, yeah. So David Ogilvy had an advertising agency and was one of the best copywriters and marketers there ever was. This is a book basically containing all sorts of old school, proven copywriting marketing pieces. Now these are very old school pieces, but again, the principles and the lessons and the pieces in there are timeless. So you can learn a lot from that and then apply it to the modern digital era. The next book is The Boron Letters, and this is again written by a very famous copywriter called Gary Halbert. And he was actually in prison, and he wrote a series of books or letters to his son and taught him how to, teaching him how to learn copywriting essentially. And the Boron Letters are essentially all these letters put into a book. So very, very good read. It's almost like written in a typewriter kind of format. Kind of interesting, but it's kind of like a conversation book between him, Gary and his son, Bond Halbert, I think he's called, who's still around today. A really good copywriter you can follow. And that's a really cool book. Next book on my list here is Scientific Advertising. I think every marketer and copywriter or upcoming copywriter should read this book just to get a basic knowledge and understanding of advertising. I think advertising as a bigger picture is something that everybody needs to learn, and how we can then fit copywriting into that. And then the Copywriter's Handbook, which is a book that I read, which again, it's a fairly big read, but it's more like a reference book as well. And that will teach you everything you need to know about copywriting. And like I said, with all these resources, it all depends on how you like to consume content. You may be more of a listener or a visual learner or someone who reads books. So take also with a pinch of salt as well. Some may be more useful to you than other materials and resources, but I'm just giving you my experience and what my journey has been. And then we've got courses. I'm going to give you a couple of courses that I've personally taken and one that I would recommend from a friend. So it's a copywriter that is my friend called Mike Samuels, and he has a program called the Freedom Kickstarter, which essentially is teaching you how to become a copywriter and how to get your first few clients and grow a freelance copywriting business, I assume, from watching some of his videos and reading some of his emails. But again, a really nice guy, very good copywriter, very down to earth, and I've heard some really good stuff about his Freedom Kickstarter, so I thought it'd be rude not to include it in this video. And then a couple of courses I've personally taken myself. First one is Autoresponder Madness by a guy called Andre Chaperon, and this is all about understanding how to tell stories through the written word, essentially. And it's all focused mainly around emails and email marketing, which is what I focused on for my copywriting career. And it teaches you how to tell stories in a way that lead people into the next email, so people continue to read a sequence of emails. So it's almost like a master class in creating cliffhangers and getting people to read your stuff, enjoy what you're writing, and essentially hopefully buy something off you or whoever you're working with. So Autoresponder Madness is a really good course. And then the third one I have on here is Copy Hour. And this is the first course I ever bought. And it was, again, an email, it was a course delivered by email. Every single day you would be sent an email and an assignment. And the assignment was to handwrite out a successful piece of copy every single day. This does something really psychological in your brain and actually helps you learn copywriting and the principles that are being used in that piece of advertising to sell a product or get the customer to do something, whatever the ad is doing. And I learned a lot through doing that. I have literally A4 notepads full to the brim with handwritten sales pieces in there. And that was when I first started learning about copywriting. Somebody told me to get the course, so I invested a few $100s into it. And it was maybe I think a 60 or 90 day program. And you just get an email automatically delivered into your inbox every day, complete the assignment, and I thought it was really useful. Then we've got websites. So websites, Skillshare is one where you can learn literally anything on copywriting on there, which is a monthly subscription, I believe. And then also School Communities, spelled with a K, so SKOOL. There's loads of free and paid communities on there that you can join, similar to Facebook, but I think a lot better. A lot less noise going on there as well, so you're not going to get distracted as much. And there's loads of communities there that you can join, and you can jump in and start surrounding yourself with people who are around the same level as you, just getting started maybe with copywriting, and people who are way further ahead that you can learn from and absorb their knowledge and wisdom. So that's what I love about surrounding yourself with communities. And if you want to join my community as well, which is the Copy Club, there's a link in the description below. I send out almost daily emails on everything to do with copywriting and getting you started with freelance copywriting. And my main point here is practice daily. You need to practice your craft every single day to be good at it. That whole idea of you need 10,000 hours to master a craft, get to a point where you are a master, is kind of true with anything, especially copywriting. So even if you can devote 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, an hour a day to making your craft even better, you will become a way better copywriter. And my final point here is that email lists have been a big driver in me learning from other copywriters and marketers. So I join and have joined and read a lot of email marketing emails just to see how everybody else is writing their emails to their customers, see if there's any ideas that I can pull from their emails and apply to what I'm doing or with other clients or customers. It's a really fast way to springboard over the learning curve of copywriting. So I hope this one was useful. Again, remember there's a link below in the description if you want to join my copy club. It's completely free. Go check it out. It's pretty cool. And any comments about what we talked about learning copywriting, drop in the comments and I'll get back to you, or I will make a video.